Hello and welcome back to another TCG Live pack opening. Today we're opening 6 Stellar Crown packs, or not 6, 8, sorry. Meditite, meditating on top of the very tall rock structure in the middle of the woods. Electabuzz going in for a magnum punch. Lechonk being very surprised by seeing some mushrooms. Duraludon in the mesa. The Salazzle running around with fire and poison streaming from its body. I think that was a reverse. Our second possibly is the Swalot, preparing to swallow the pile of junk in the junkyard. Azumarill amongst the blooming flowers at the bottom of the river. Slowpoke happily swimming down into the coral for our first reverse. Our second is Raboot getting a few berries thrown at him. And a nice hollow Bouffalant as they go in for a headbutt, or they just absolutely obliterate a rock with their head. Pansear sitting on the log in the forest. Pansear sitting on the log in the forest. Meditite doing some stretches near the waterfall. Joltik unleashing a ridiculous amount of energy. Salazzle running along pumping out fire and poison. Salazzle running along, pumping out fire and poison. It's always so funny when they double up like that. We have the Marowak in the Mountains at Night. Grand Tree Trainer, a very fancy card. Ooh, a very nice illustration, full art, Meditite, as they sit in the vines high in the trees while the Chatot flies by. For our rare, a very nice hollow Caracosta. Or Caracosta, I'm not 100% sure. Once again, the Lechonk being surprised by the mushrooms. Duraludon in the mesa. Clang in the factory. Ooh, a very classically designed Tauros. This is very reminiscent of his Gen 1 art, preparing to charge at its opponent. Lapras swimming above the coral reef. Beautiful shot. Tornadus high above the land, stirring up strong winds. Okaberry Trainer. A Lileep deep in the water, climbing up the side of the rocks. Eldegost amongst the blooming flowers for our second reverse, I believe. And our rare is a nice hollow Kling inside of a cave. Yamask floating around, observing the ruins. Medichan doing some training in the market. Fletch Finder following the leaves on the breeze. Applin hanging from the tree with a bunch of apples. Marowak in the Mountains at Night. Marowak in the Mountains at Night. Talonflame flying high above the desert mountains. Toadskruel going in for a fierce strike with his tentacle. Slowpoke swimming down into the coral reef for our second reverse, and our rare is a nice hollow Rhyperior as it stands on top of the rock, pushing more boulders off. I say we're about halfway there, boys, halfway there. And a beautiful Finneon, I love the greens and pinks, swimming around the underwater rocks. Medichan meditating on top of the high pillar. Froakie in the extremely shallow pond. Medichan training in the market. Lacey outside of that same building that I'm not sure where it is. Ooh, a very nice Frogadier as it launches off several water attacks. Crabominable launching snowballs from his paw claw things. Frogadier launching off several water attacks for our first reverse. Our second is the Azumarill amongst all the blooming flowers in the river. And our rare is a very nice Iron Boulder Hollow. Gossifleur amongst all the blooming flowers and bushes. Missillery right in front of the beautifully painted wall. Eevee by the river's edge looking at the dandelion. Applin hanging from the trees with his fellow apples. Crabominable launching off snowballs from its paws. Koraidon making his way through the ancient jungle. Glass Trumpet Trainer. For our first reverse, we have another Lacey Trainer. Frogadier once again launching off several water attacks. The very nice Hollow Zeraora going in for a fierce electrical slash. Couple packs to go. Grubbin making his way through the dense jungle. Finneon swimming underneath the underwater rocks. Joltik unleashing a ridiculous amount of energy. Impidimp crying out over the loss of its right hand's functionality. Drifblim high above the clouds over the city. Pangoro using his tantrum attack. Mean Shell running through the forest at night in the light of the full moon. Fletchling flying above a very interesting structure. I could believe that's like a gym of some sort or a battle arena. Once again, the Grubbin making his way through the dense jungle. And our rare, a very nice Metachan EX as they destroy a rock with their knee. Alrighty boys, it has come that time once again to find out is last pack best pack or not. If you're unfamiliar, basically on a pack by pack basis for this opening, does this pack contain the best stuff of the opening? If you want more details, there's a link in the description to a video to explain more. Let's see what we got. It's going to be a little bit tricky today. Toadskool running swiftly through the dense jungle. Varoom racing around the wasteland. Scorbunny leaping from cliffside to cliffside on the island. Antique cover fossil trainer. Toadskrull going in for another nasty punch with its tentacle. Glass trumpet trainer. Eldegost amongst all the blooming flowers. Once again, a Lacy trainer reverse for our first. Next is a Ladybug flying above the path, and our rare of the pack. A nice hollow Lucario EX, just going in for a fierce punch. Although unfortunately boys, that's going to be another no for last pack best pack. The illustration rare of the Metatite earlier cut us off from getting a yes. Well boys, overall we gotten some pretty good cards for the day. A few EXs, a illustration rare, I believe we only got one of those, but yeah, I mean, it's always fun. Like I said last time, it's always fun to open up a new set. Or, new to me at least. It's far from being a new set. But, yeah, it's always fun to see new art and all that type of stuff. But, alrighty, boys, I'm gonna call it here for this one. As always, I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you on Thursday for our next TCG Live pack opening. See you then, boys. Enjoy the card scroll.